Renee, thanks so much. It is known as social engineering, a method used by criminals to pose as someone in an official capacity to gain personal financial information. Joining us is Steve Aliamis. He's a VP of IT infrastructure at CalCoast Credit Union. Steve, welcome.
Good morning.
So I just gave the brief description of what this social engineering is all about. Help define it for us even more than that. Exactly what are these folks doing?
Well, I think you've got it right. Social engineering really is trying to trick somebody into giving up personal information. So it takes away through emails, it takes away through websites, but we're seeing really mostly email now. It accounts for about 75% of all reports through the FBI.
Yeah, you work in IT, you must see this kind of thing attempted all the time.
Yeah, quite a bit. And so what we're really doing is trying to educate our employees to be very suspicious of all emails. So anything that's a hyperlink, anything that looks like an attachment, we want to make sure people are aware before they click.
There are also signatures, things you can look for just in the way it's written that tell you that should be a warning sign to you.
Right. So things like in the subject line, if there's grammar errors or if there's any misspellings, especially things that look like they've been translated from another language, we're always suspicious of those sorts of things.
And you say that you're trying to get your employees up to speed in terms of business owners out there. What do you do? How do you get people educated on this subject?
Well, we have formal training programs, and those training programs take the way of two things. First of all, there are some videos that we allow people to look at. And then secondly, we do tests from time to time, so we will send out a fake message and see how the click-through rate is. And so we're able to measure the education level of the employee and then take steps to further educate them.
Sometimes, though, it can go pretty far, right? I mean, they will study up on what the business is all about. It won't just be like a random, we talk about spam, where you can tell pretty quickly that they don't know who they're talking to. But in some cases, they'll study the business, and they'll send something that says it's maybe from, I think you guys pointed out a case where they said, this is the CEO of the company, and this is what I want you to do in terms of sending out information about the employees, and the person followed through?
Right, and some of the criminals now are looking at social websites, and so they're seeing that our CEO might be traveling or that he might be out of the area, so when these messages come through, there's no way to contact them. So a lot more social engineering going on, not just in the company level, but also on the personal level.
Right. And it's interesting that you point that out because we get it so much. Being on television, you get requests all the time to be friends on Facebook, and I have to tell you the truth, we usually accept them because that's our business, right? And I can see, I don't know if you can tell, this chair likes to spin to the right, so gradually, Steve, we're
pulling more and further and further away from you. There you go.
Back into the interview momentarily. You're not the only one that this happens to. This particular chair does that all the time. But in any case, it's just be aware on social media, if you can be, if you don't work in media especially, that folks that are friending you might not necessarily be your friend.
Right, and we see a lot of this where we have some of our employees who have several hundred, if not thousands, of friends. Very, very suspicious of that. I don't know 1,000 people myself.
Yeah.
So maybe you do in the news, but we want to make sure that people are friending the right sorts of people.
And you got your point in before the chair took you away again.
Right.
We're going to have to figure out what's going on with the bearings on that thing or whatever. Steve from CalCoast, thank you so much. Pleasure to talk to you,
Nice
sir.
to talk to you.
Thank you for your time. And it gives me the chuckles to see that chair doing that thing. Hey, coming up.